Pit race against race, religion against religion, prejudice against prejudice. Divide and conquer. We must not let that happen here. Eleanor Roosevelt. Hello folks. I know it's been a while. It's been 2 days. Personal things that are happening are holding me back, but I'm back at it. I figured I'd do a live stream here. I did get a chance to follow up on what's going on with Isaac Kappy. It's hard to make up your mind on things, and usually I don't. The thing that I always keep in mind is he trying to utilize divide and conquer? That's it. That's as simple as I can break it down. And no, I don't think so. I mean, even with all the reservations that I have with QAnon, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go over all the possible cases for what he's doing is legit, and possible cases against. And this is your time to chime in as well, whether you want to come on in and talk about it, or if you want to just watch and chime in the live chat. But I'm still in favor of what he is doing, and I think as far as if that keeps going that same route, I support him. And what he is doing, what he's going up against, I support. I mean, I don't know who you are, whoever the people are that support pedophilia. I am definitely against. Anyways, there's gonna be 50 minutes, 27 minutes, and 31 minutes. There's a direct link to his Periscope page, and we'll try to see if he will do an interview with us, and we'll see. I'll on the background just make up some possible cases for and against. Again, I don't have much time to prep as I would like to, right? To prep at least the intro and everything else. It takes a good amount of time. Anyways, I will play the episodes, but this time after each stream that he does, I am going to break it down a little bit and talk about whether I'm for or against what he said, or possible strategies that might be lurking in the background that a lot of people are holding in as far as having reservations.
Hello? Hello? So I tried to share the link on Twitter. It said there was an error. Let's try it again. Twitter. Tweet did not send. Alright, so good morning, everybody. Oh, thank you. So let's see. Yeah, no one's getting notifications, and I tried to just now send it out on Twitter, and it wouldn't send. And that brings me to a very, very important point that I would like to address. If you're watching, you're probably pretty well aware that I've been suppressed on Twitter, on 4chan, on pretty much everywhere. They're just like, keep it down, don't let this stuff out. But I'm advocating for victims of really horrible stuff. I'm advocating for victims, yet I'm being shut down. What does that tell you what does that tell you about the people that are running Twitter, that are running whatever? What does that show you? Sound is gone. God. Go inside. Is this better? Is this better? Anyone? Anyone? Can you guys? Tweets blocked. Can anyone see me? Feed's good. Yes? Do you got it? So it's frozen for some people, but some people are getting it? Is that the deal? You got me. Okay. Reflective glasses. I like them. So, where were we? Yeah. So I'm being suppressed. I'm being censored. People are writing me. Their accounts are being deleted midstream. And I'm coming out about victims. All right. I'm speaking up for victims. And what does that show you about the people that are in control of Twitter, of Apple, of 4chan, even 4chan? It should show you a lot, because this is stuff that they don't want getting out, and these are people that are powerful people that have a lot of money and influence. It's annoying. But hopefully it's a really good lesson, especially for people out there who are new to, like, you know, kind of like waking up to what's around them, and like seeing the way that the world works. Because, you know, if there's information they want to suppress, there's a reason. Why did they want to suppress information about children being harmed? Why would they do that? It doesn't make much sense. Unless maybe they're part of it. Let's see. I want to have a public service announcement, because some people are saying, they're like writing me. They're like, "Oh my God, is this true?" It's like they're like freaking out. They're like, "I'm so scared," and I'm like, "Guys, just calm down. We're gonna take care of it. We just what needs to happen is that people need to become aware of the problem that has existed for a while. If you're aware of the problem, if you can spot the problem, then it's not going to be a problem. Like, there's millions of people worldwide who are good people, and the bad people are much fewer, and, you know, we're in the process of taking care of them. So yeah, if you're just new to all this and you're like, it's a lot of information. It's a lot of information, folks. It's a lot of information, and it can be overwhelming, especially when you start to grasp it. But know that you are in a safe place. It's fine. You need to learn about it, and you need to be brave about getting rid of the way you thought stuff was, and open your mind, expand your mind, and just learn a bit and research. Today's obvious pedophile of the day is... Anyone want to guess? It's a new one. Stephen King. Stephen King is a pedophile. And not only is he a pedophile, but he's part of a cult. A lot of these people are part of a cult. And it's been operating for a long time. By the way, I got some really, really interesting information about Stephen King, that he can be placed to Fort Bragg for some experimental programs. Yeah, By the way, guys, keep sending messages. I can't count how many times I've just like broken down crying. I'm getting so many survivors who are like, "Oh my god, like I never thought that you like anyone would share these stories. Like I can't believe someone is standing up for us." There's a lot of messed up stuff that's going on. People are being abused, and the cult is abusive. The cult is abusive. Let's talk about Stephen King a little bit, just because I don't want to just blow it off like, oh yeah, he's a pedophile. This guy writes books about like little kids having sex. He just seems to be very preoccupied with it. He wrote It, and I wonder if did Seth meet Stephen King? Is there a connection there? I don't know. But I mean, look, all the signs are there. It's like, you know, and a lot of people are saying, well, you don't have like evidence. Like, look, once you see how these people operate, how the scam operates, it's just so easy to spot them. And it's so easy. You're like, oh yeah, totally, that guy, cult, pedophile. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I don't know why there's so many people that care what Stephen King thinks. Yeah, the creep factor is very high. Once you see it, you never unsee it. What else? Oh, this is important. I want to talk about gaslighting. Gaslighting is it's psychological warfare, and people they want to dig into you. They want you to doubt yourself. They want to like make you feel crazy. They'll accuse you of being crazy. This is what the media does on a wide scale industrial basis. They do it all the time. If there's information they don't want getting out, they'll attack. They're already starting with me. I guess I don't know, I'm getting threats, but some little paper in Santa Monica is saying that I was unhinged and crazed. Whatever. I don't care what these people think. I really don't. These people are media whores. They're getting their money from, the people that are abusing. Like, let's look at Twitter. Why is Jack shadow banning me? Like, not even just shadow ban, but it's like we're talking. People are like, I couldn't find your page. I searched and searched and searched, and I couldn't find it. Except I went through a link, and I can't even follow you, but I'm messaging you. And I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much for messaging. This is crazy. And again, I'm gonna get with my proof is in the pudding. Has anyone sent me a letter for cease and desist? No. I'm saying some pretty heavy things, pretty heavy accusations, but if they're harming accusations, if they were false, so why wouldn't they send me a cease and desist letter? Because they don't want to go to court for discovery. And what's happening right now with me is they're trying to just suppress it, but it's kind of people are into it. It's catching fire, but they're just trying to push it down. They're trying to just avoid dealing with me or my message. But it's not going to work. It's not going to work. There are too many people that know. There are too many people that are hip to the game. Too many people have awakened. It's already done. It's already done. You guys need to spread the word. Just get awareness going. And when you do it, you gotta be calm and be like, yo, this is crazy. You don't want to have a freak out. Because people will be like, whoa, what's going on? McMartin Preschool. Yeah, I actually talked about the McMartin area, I think yesterday. The first time I became aware of satanic ritual abuse was In 2004, I dated this girl. Well, I dated her for like 5 years, but her mom was a victim of satanic ritual abuse. Her father abused her. He was a preacher, pastor man in right down here in Manhattan Beach, California, and that was in the 50s and 60s. And the McMartin case was the 80s, so it had been going on that whole time undetected. So it's really bad. It's really, really, really bad stuff. Do I have any other notes? Oh yeah, all the autists out there, look into the Fort Bragg Stephen King connection, because I got some really interesting information today. Pretty freaky stuff. Talked about gaslighting. We talked about all right. I got all my notes for today. We can hang out for a little bit. Just talking does nothing. That is not true, my man or lady. I didn't see your handle. Talking about it, getting awareness. We're educating people. We've had an uphill battle. We've had an uphill battle because, as you can see, just from my situation in the past few days, like, they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to. They just push it down. They push it down. They call me crazy. They threaten me, death threats. Like, why would they make all of that effort if what I'm saying is false? Ask yourself. How will they be investigated? They are being investigated. And the thing that I'm trying to impress upon people is, like, Trump is taking care of this. He's aware of the problem. He's known about it for a long time. There are people, good people, that have been within our government that have a plan to help us, free us, because ever since JFK, we haven't had, like, an autonomous president who, wanted to do good stuff. But Trump had time. He had time. He had a plan. He has people. I have had people reach out to me from the team, and yeah, I am safe. I am safe. I got a very, very good message yesterday. Am I a Trump supporter? Yeah, I am a Trump supporter. I am a Trump supporter because here's one thing I learned, because I've been studying this stuff for a long time. If the media is going all out to attack someone, that person is probably pretty cool, because the media is controlled by the cult, the pedophiles, the cult. It's a cult. It's worldwide. We talked about it yesterday, but I'll talk about it again. Jimmy Savile, right? Jimmy Savile in England. Prolific rapist, murderer of children. He was protected and insulated by the BBC. He was protected and insulated by the Queen of England. He was knighted by the Queen of England, okay? So, powerful people protect monsters. And in order to become, rich and famous, a lot of the time, you have to buy in. You have to become the monster, because they want the blackmail. So, Jimmy Savile, protected by the BBC. The guy that was there, head of the BBC at the time, Mark Thompson, he left the BBC, and then he went to the New York Times. The New York Times. He is the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of the New York Times. That's like, supposedly the most important publication in America. Do you see how so messed up this is? It's just, we're out here trying to educate you guys, especially people who are new to this, just about the power structure and how stuff works. It's the blackmail. Blackmail is control. Blackmail means they own you. I'm gonna take some questions because I think I already covered what I had notes for today. Yeah, exactly. Guys, again, if anyone says like, oh, Isaac doesn't have this and that, sue me. Sue me, let's go into court, let's get discovery. You know, they're gonna say everything they can to just like, oh, Isaac, this and that, his hair is crazy, and he's like, you know, they'll try to discredit me. But at the end of the day, are they suing me? They're not, because they know they'll fucking lose. They will lose the lawsuit. Am I a commie? No, definitely not. Definitely not. What do I know about the Getty Center? I don't know. Crickets from Hollywood. Yeah, guys. I reached out to some people. I reached out to someone in particular last night. I think will come around to help this, but it requires a lot of bravery, and people don't want to even admit that there's a problem. How much coke have I done today? Not at all. I don't like cocaine. I actually hate cocaine. There are a lot of trolls, but that's good. You know what? The trolls mean we are right over the target. Right over the target. No, I'm not going to get arrested and sued for defamation because I'm right, and you can't scare me. And yeah, go for it. Sue me. Sue me. Trolls are a positive sign. That's right. And if you're, by the way, to the trolls, if you are getting money to, oh, look, guys, do you see, I just said what gaslighting is? I said gaslighting. It's where they attack you, they make you doubt yourself. Look at these comments right now. They're like, oh, are you okay? You're on drugs. You're this. You're that. Blah 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 blah. Guys, I am the most sane one in the room. Well, to be fair, like I'm the only one in the room right now, but you know, I'm talking about this chat. Can you trust law enforcement in LA? Yeah, law enforcement in LA came by yesterday, and we had a very, very, very good chat. Who's this Magic Mike guy? Hey, back in team, find that guy. Let's see who he is. Magic Mike, we're gonna find you, buddy. You little clown spammer. My guys will dox you in 10 minutes, boy. Yes. By the way, I thank you so much for all the messages. Like, it's really amazing, and especially like, the survivors and victims. Like, some of the story I read, like the last one I read was like a fucking heart-wrenching story. Just, ugh. And we're working on compiling a bunch of stories about the cult. We're talking about the cult, the SRA cult. They're going to be exposed. Feldman, I don't know. They're going to be exposed. The cult is going down. All of you are going down. There's already 40,000 plus indictments. Those are already in. But the thing is, like, the media has worked everybody into such a frenzy. People are they're just going bonkers about this stuff. They're like, Trump, the 2 ice creams. He wants to keep poop off the streets. Like, we have to get rid of him. The economy is like booming. We must impeach him. Like, do you see the fear? It's totally irrational. Why would they be going so hard? Because they're part of the cult, and they're trying to gaslight the public. And it's fucked up, and I'm pissed off. Like, normal people, good people are getting drawn into this. They're cornered animals. You know what? Stop taking the rest of America hostage over your fucking cult pedophilia bullshit. All right? It's over. It is over. Yeah, they're fucked. They're totally fucked. I'm just here to tell y'all what's going on. I'm here to explain how the system works, how it works. Trafficking, child trafficking, organ trafficking, these have been major money-making industries. And people are trying to protect their money. They're trying to protect. Oh, Eminem. Yeah, Eminem is fucked. He's look up Rachel Chandler. Rachel Chandler. Look that up. She ties to Eminem and Epstein and Clinton, etc. ICE is stopping traffickers, and people are like, we must stop ICE. Make no mistake, the porous borders, the things that is good for is drug trafficking and human trafficking. Child handler, that's exactly it. I can see all the comments. They're just streaming by so fast. I'm just trying to get them. Yeah, please, this would be great. Back in Angels, find that Magic Mike guy, get his phone number, and I'm gonna call him once we get off of this, because that would be hilarious. Let's call out the trolls to their face. Yeah, the Reddit thing, yeah, I want to address that. I addressed that thing 3 times yesterday. 4 times I did videos. So I had this vision yesterday, like, oh, you know what? I want to compile all the SRA stories. I want to get them. I want to have like a headquarter here and get everyone in. I'm gonna need some money, and then I posted it because I would need money to do it. So I posted it, and just the backlash was so quick and so instantaneous that I was like, you know what? Don't send me money. No. Don't send me money. Don't send me money. Just all I'm doing is volunteers. That's it. Just volunteers, because you know what? The thing I need more than anything is for people to trust me, and I think most people do. I think the trolls are trying to exploit it. You know, I am protected. Thank you. The trolls are trying to exploit it. You know, I wish I would have just gone volunteer like at the beginning, but I was I was thinking about security and safety. But I got a very good message yesterday. Tupac. Ooh. You know what? Donald Trump, will you please release the Tupac files, the FBI Tupac files? We want to know what happened to Tupac. Trump hasn't contacted me, no. But we want to know what happened to Tupac. Who else wants to know? No, he's not alive. I don't think so. I mean, who knows, but I don't think so. Trump admin messaging you. No, they aren't. Although Q kind of made a reference that might have been about me. I don't know. Yeah, I have no angle. Look, I have no angle. I just want the truth. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of just the brainwashing and the gaslighting and the intimidation and the death threats on me for speaking out against victims of child rape. If you are attacking me, then that means basically you're for child rape and you're for satanic ritual abuse. You're for MK Ultra, because that's who's attacking me. Have I lost any friends? Yeah, I lost quite a bit of friends over the last year. But that was there were people like, you know, it was a little smear campaign sort of thing, and I just kind of like went with the flow with it. I knew that I would be vindicated eventually. But yeah, if you're coming out against me, you're basically coming out against child abuse. You're for child abuse. If you are against me, you're basically for continuing the child abuse, the drug trafficking, well, like the fentanyl. Guys, fentanyl is so dangerous. Please don't do opioids. Opioids are so dangerous. I almost died like over 10 years ago when I did some opioids when I was like drinking, and I almost died. I've never done them since. They're so dangerous and they're bad for you. They're very, very bad for you. I'm just reading. You got hooked for years? Yeah, I had, in New Mexico, there's a big heroin and opioid problem, and I had a lot of friends. I had friends die. I had friends that were just hooked on drugs, and it was so bad. One of whom I actually helped kick the habit, but it's nasty stuff. Nasty. How do you get off opioids? It's rough. I think, no, don't do Suboxone. Don't do that shit, because getting off that is like worse than just cold turkey. Oh, hey, one thing I want to bring up, and this is just this is like political, but so my parents are Democrats. I was a Democrat pretty much my whole life. I voted for Obama. I voted for Ron Paul in 2012. And I voted for Bernie in the primaries of 2016. Then I voted for Trump, which I didn't really know. I didn't really know too much about Trump, to be honest. Of course I knew who he was, but I didn't know much about him. But what piqued my interest is when there's this guy, General Flynn. When he got involved, I was like, oh, this is interesting, because this guy got fired by Obama. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm feeling pretty good about the Trump thing. So, whatever. My friends in LA have not taken it so well. But, Oh, the Steve-O thing, you know what? I want to mention that. I don't think Steve-O's bad. I have a mutual friend, one of my best friends, who actually I was with the first time I posted here. He's very close with Steve-O, and that was just kind of like, that tattoo is like, there was like a dare, like, what's the worst tattoo that you could do? So Steve-O, I don't know about Steve-O. I don't know, but that was the story. Oh, but anyways, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked just because I'm reading and talking. But look at San Francisco, okay? They have literal shit covering the streets, like more shit that's been around. They have needles everywhere, and like, I don't know. I don't feel like sane people think that just having shit and AIDS needles everywhere is like a cool thing to do. It is sad. Yeah. Post from Seth, Twitter. No, I didn't see it. Look, I don't care. What's he gonna say? It took like a whole week, and now maybe there's a response. Maybe it wasn't even him. Like, I don't care. I don't care. It's the truth. These people are liars, folks. By the way, to all of our friends, mutual friends of Seth and Claire's and mine, call them up. Be like, hey, can we go to the Malibu house? I want to check out the bookcase. San Fran feces. Music. I have something coming soon. I'll let you know whenever it's done. The Kanye story. Yeah. See, what my idea of the Kanye, my speculation, which coming from my story, like would seem to line up. Like I kind of see the similarities, but I think he figured out everything that was going on with Jay-Z. He figured out the whole thing, and it was like, it hit him like a ton of bricks. Ooh. And then he had that concert where he was like, Facebook lied to you, Google lied to you. And that's true. Facebook and Google did lie to you. They lie to you all the time. They lie to you in the search results. Twitter's suppressing. Like, these people aren't good people. They're part of a cult. And it's not like a fun cult, where like, you just like, I don't know, what does a fun cult do? Just like regular sexy stuff or whatever. We're talking like, like raping, murdering children, like just the worst shit that you can imagine that I don't even like to think about. Like, I realize it exists, but I don't like to dwell on it, because it's not, it's it's horrible to think about that these things exist in the world. But the trick is to expose them and bring the light to it. Bring the light. It's a phony system. It is. It's so fake. And it, you know what? It maximizes human suffering. It's just, and there's esoteric reasons for that. If you want to, research more, you can get into like why do we have the system we have. But let's look at the facts. We have a food supply that is sprayed with Monsanto gross poison, genetically modified organisms, high fructose corn syrup, which, don't drink that shit, guys. It'll make you fat, and nobody wants that. So you got the food that's gross, and then you get sick, and then they give you the medicine, the prescription pharmaceuticals, which make you sick, and then you need another one for the side effect of the pill, right? And meanwhile, people are making money off this. Look at the education system. It doesn't teach people to be thinkers. It doesn't teach them to be autonomous. It teaches them to follow and to be consumers. Like, the whole system needs a refresh, right? We need to change it up. My friend, my buddy Stevo, my friend that's buddies with Stevo just texted me the whole story. But yeah, it's all by design. It is all by design. It's all by design. Ooh, that's interesting. Circumcision is SRA. Can you go into that? Because someone even, whoever sent that message, either email me or Twitter, the DM me, because I'm very interested in that, because I don't know about circumcision, but I've speculated it. What is the esoteric? Why do they do that? But at the end of the day, you're talking about taking a literal infant and like traumatizing their most delicate organ. So I would love a breakdown on that if someone wants to inform me. Common Core, yeah, guys, look, they set up a system where they could just farm you, literally farm you, and take advantage of you. And then if you crack out of it, like me, if you see the light, they'll just attack you. And they say, oh, this guy's crazy, with the gaslighting. They're like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's crazy, he's gaslighting, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not Renegade. I'm not Renegade. Do I look, I thought that Renegade was black. I mean, shit. I get down, but I'm pretty light-skinned. Or give you more pills. Yeah. Oh, by the way, look at boys, all right? Look how boys are treated in the world now. It's crazy, but boys have a lot of energy. They're they're hyper. They need to run around, but instead they just feed them pills to sedate them and pills to children. Children don't need pills. We've been around for thousands and thousands of years. Our bodies, we don't need that. Toxic masculinity. They don't want strong men. They don't want strong men. It's true. Y'all are pretty woke over here, man. I hope the people that are just kind of getting new to this or reading the comments and absorbing a little bit, doing research. And again, please, it is a lot to handle. It's a lot to handle, but just be calm and know that we're going to make it out of this. This whole system it's done. It's done. It's done. We're gonna make a beautiful world. It's gonna be so awesome. We're gonna take out all the little. What's my end game? My end game is. I just want people to start getting aware. I want people to research. I want people to wake up out of the slumber. I want people to never ever watch CNN or New York Times ever again, because they lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie and lie. Oh man, Britain. God. If you're in England, I feel for you. I hope you guys can can do something about it. Maybe if you're like really young now and you're in England, like you're watching this and you're like getting it, you're like, I see the whole thing, mate. Yeah, I see the whole thing, mate. Bruv, this is fucked. This is well fucked, mate. Go get a job within the system and just tear it down from the inside, because England is fucked. How about another vote? Yeah, mandatory vaccinations. Guys, the vaccinations are when I was a kid, we had way less vaccinations. Now they're doing like, what, 20 at one time? That's not good. That's not good for you. Franklin cover-up. Yes. Guys, look up the Franklin cover-up. This was a scandal that happened during the first Bush years in the White House. Or was it Reagan? Well, it was right around that, like 80. It was probably both, to be honest. But same thing. It's the same thing. It's blackmail. It's pedophilia. It's been going on. It gets covered up. But it's not going to get covered up anymore, because we are here to say, fuck that shit. Michael Aquino. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Do we have any more questions? Everything will work out fine. Everything is going to be all right, babies. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Twitter, YouTube, Google, Facebook, they're all in a heap of shit. I don't even want to get into all the stuff they've been into, but it's bad. It's really bad. But it's fine. We are going to fix it. Yeah, Michael Aquino. Look up that guy. Holy shit. Sing it? Thank you. Thank you. Am I a survivor? Well, I have been raped. I've been sexually assaulted. Not as a child, but yeah, I got raped. I got raped by a lady. Will there be a Hollywood Renaissance? Look, anything will be better than the shit that's coming out of Hollywood right now. It's fucking garbage. Like I said the other day, they ruined Star Wars. They ruined a lot of stuff. They have no ideas. They only have an agenda. How does Judaism play into pedophilia? You know, I don't know exactly. I grew up Christian, so I never really had like the full Jewish experience, even though my grandfather's Jewish. I look Jewish, really Jewish, and my name's Isaac. No, I'm not a practicing Jew, not at all. But you know what? There is a problem within Judaism, because, you know, the cult, that's the cult I've been talking about. There's a lot of people that call themselves Jews that are in the cult. But then again, you know what? I meet a lot of Jews who are awesome, and I talk to this stuff about, and they're like, yeah, that's messed up, man. And I say, what's the deal with Jews like saying they're the chosen people? Aren't we all the chosen people? We're all human beings. We're all the chosen people. And a lot of the, you know, the younger Jews are like, yeah, like it's ridiculous. Why it's, you know, we should all be the chosen people. We're all people. People are the chosen people. God loves us. Yeah. Yeah, like, and that's the thing, like, there are a lot of people who call themselves Jewish that are involved in the cult. Not all Jews are, and I think that the good Jews should come out against these really bad people and what they're doing, and not put up with it, because then it just, you know, gives them a bad name. Just police their own community a bit. Exactly. Don't judge groups by a bad individual. Yeah, exactly. Emery Smith. No, I don't. I don't know who Emery Smith is. Television programming. Oh, guys. Yeah, this is another aspect of, you know, kind of what we're talking about. Television programming. Tell a vision. They're trying to tell you a vision and program you. It's like the most blatant form of MK Ultra that there is. They're trying to influence you. They want you to be a certain way. That's why, you know, there'll be like certain characters that are like I'm losing my train of thought here. There'll be like certain archetypes in television. They're like, this is what these people are like. This is what these people are like. You know, they're just trying. Lost connection. Ugh. Thank you so much. Oh, I saw that Manson thing. That was weird. That was weird. Jody Show. Yeah, oh, exactly. You get it. Max Spears. Oh, yeah, Max Spears. Look up that one for, like, the real, you know, autists. Was that Seth on HN? I don't know. I don't care at this point. Like, whatever. No one's called me. No one said anything. By the way, the offer still stands. I want, if you got a problem with me and you think I'm a liar and you want to call me out for being a liar, let's do it in public. Let's get a circle going. We'll get World Star. We'll do it rap battle style, because I think that would be so fucking fun. And we might as well have fun with it, right? How do you talk to non-woke loved ones? That's difficult. You know, what I would suggest is asking questions. Ask questions so they can answer it, and then maybe they will put it together. Most people, you know, I think people are waking up, but a lot of people have a normalcy bias. They don't want to challenge their view of the world because it's uncomfortable. And that's, you know, it is what it is. They're kind of like intellectually lazy. Smart guy, trained? Trained in what? They do family gaslights too, because they get uncomfortable, so they'll call you crazy. It's happened to me. It's happened, you know, it's happened, I'm sure, to a lot of you. You know, and what will break them out of that? I don't know. I hope this stuff like this breaks them out of it. Cognitive dissonance. Yep, exactly. It's like they don't want to be comfortable. That's why, guys, I'm putting together a project. If you are a victim, especially of SRA or MK Ultra, go to my Twitter, send a message. There's a link to a Proton Mail account that you can send your account to. I have a bunch of people that have contacted me, and a bunch of people that are just crying. They're like so happy that this is finally being addressed. But I'm putting together a project. I want to get people on video. I want the world to see the stuff that is hidden, that the media is trying to suppress, because the media is trying to keep the system of child abuse alive. Straight up. Is Spielberg touchable? I mean, sure, why not? Burn the system down. That's right, we're burning it down. We're burning it down. We're going to make something beautiful in its place. And I got to say, this is something where I was like, wow, Trump is really a smart guy because he's known about all this stuff. Michael Flynn's known about all this stuff. The NSA has all the fucking data. But, he can't just come in on December of 2016 and just start freaking arresting the whole, all these people, because the public would freak out. The public would be like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" Because you've grown up to trust these people, but they're sociopaths. They've been lying to you, and I know firsthand. I met these people. They've been my friends, Seth and Claire. They were so sweet. They were my favorite people. They were my favorite people. Anytime I would go over to hang out, I was like, oh, God, I'm so happy. But they're hiding stuff. They're hiding things. They're sociopaths. They're actors, and they have dark sides, very, very dark sides that they hide. So that's kind of the deal, guys. Ted Gunderson. Yep. That guy was woke as hell. He was talking about this. How long ago is that? Ted Gunderson? 80s? He knew all about it. Wanna grab a Pokeball? Yeah, Pokeballs. I like Pokeballs. Them salmon balls. All right. Well, I'm gonna take maybe a few more questions, but my phone's about to die and I need to recharge it. Bill Cooper, yes, Bill Cooper. Yeah, if you really want to go deep and you're like, wow, I want to learn about all this shit. Behold a pale horse, right? Bill Cooper. He got killed right around 9/11, and he predicted 9/11. What's my sign? I am a triple Aquarius. I'm a triple Aquarius from a windy city in the desert, the high desert. Ireland, hello Ireland. Who else? You know what? Before I go, where? Everyone, tell me where they're at right now. Everyone, tell me where they're at. Behold a pale horse. Everyone, tell me where they're at. Tell me where you're at. I want to know where everyone is at. America, where are you at? We got Ireland. The Aussies are probably asleep right now, huh? Aquarius, yeah. NorCal, UK, Texas, East Coast, Michigan, Providence, Kentucky, Fort Wayne. Oh, we got all over. OC, New Hampshire, Manchester. Oh, this is great. This is so amazing. See, this right now, this is what makes this awakening possible, that I can just connect with you guys through a phone. I'm talking to you worldwide. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go because my phone's about to die. But before I do, let's everyone get in here for a big hug. Ooh. Because we all need hugs. We need each other. Y'all have a great weekend, and I love you, and please love each other. All right? Bye.
Okay, so I'm actually not gonna go ahead and show the next two. You can definitely view them. I am gonna go show the very long Lift the Veil interview, and I am gonna pause it at certain moments of that interview. Before that, however, I want to share with you the notes that I took and kind of give an current for or against kind of a breakdown. Let's see. I have to share it this way just so it's easier to see. Oh, come on. Give me a minute here. All right, so there's a lot he mentioned already. There's a couple more he mentions later. But the case is for, and kind of have to look at it with cases against as well. Oh, I didn't copy it over. Hold on. I had an updated version. I'm sorry. Oh no. What is going on over here? Just find destination. Oh no, it's not. Okay. We're still good. Give me a second. Here we go. That's because I had it open. Try again. There you go. Alright, that's a little bit better. And sorry about that little hiccup. Okay, so cases 4. Alright, so he doesn't go for the divide and conquer route. He does it through Unity, and you'll see more of that when you look at his latest live streams. He's not taking money. He was taking money. He's trying to figure it out. 2 weeks and $100,000, but he followed up at least 2 videos saying no, he's not taking money. Although, what I would like to see is more transparency. We don't get to see that transparency. He probably raised a good amount of money for those donations, and what actually happened. I would actually be doing that and showcasing live. There has been no cease and desist letter yet or anything of mention as far as the people that he made accusations towards is doing something or is going to do something to him. It is a good cause. Yeah, I mentioned that before. If he ends up doing any of the cases against, which I will go over later, people will hate him. I mean, it feels like he's dead either way. I mean, if he's telling the truth, then, you know, I think actually reveals it and gets cases made against these people high up. And he mentions a lot of high up people, not just Hollywood, but in government positions as well. Now, a lot of these cases for can be in cases against, and you'll see it. He's well versed in conspiracies. His cases for, actually, this should be cases against. I'm sorry. I don't like transparency. So we don't know. So I'll get to that later. He's currently open to interviews. He did one with Lift the Veil, and we're going to show that next. He's against the system, but then he's kind of not in some ways. He's suppressed by media platforms, but in my opinion, he's just really not tech savvy. But I don't really know that. It just appears to me that way. Cases against, and a couple asterisks. Now, this is probably the biggest underlying bad thing that could come out of it, is that there could be a plot to undermine conspiracy theories while protecting the pedophiles that he's mentioning. So what this boils down to, yes, he's mentioning a lot of things that the conspiracy theory community spends a lot of time information gathering and making real good cases against that. Yeah, this is a conspiracy, not just a theory. Yet all it takes is him to, for example, maybe he's working with the deep state, maybe he's working with Seth Green, maybe he's working with whoever, and it ends up that they take him to court. It's just a big show. Nothing happens. They just end up turning it out that he's crazy, and he accepts that, yeah, he's crazy. And so basically everything that he talks about exposing the system and pedophiles and all the blackmail that goes on to as a method of control, all of that is just going to appear more crazy to people out in public. So this can have very, very bad consequences if he's playing on the wrong side. He supports Q, which indicates dodginess in my opinion. You don't have to have the same opinion, as it supports the system like regime change and war. So far, he hasn't had any proof yet, or shown any proof, and we'll get to more of that, what I'm mentioning later. Maybe I'll just get to it now. Like he mentions, did Seth meet Stephen King? I don't know. Why would he even mention it if he doesn't know? And that was one of his other reveals. Stephen King is a pedophile. That's what he said. Yet he mentions other things, and he doesn't know. If he doesn't know, don't even mention it. Someone mentioned in live chat that he's looking for attention, fame. That could be one thing. For me, I think it could be a big joke, which is in tandem with him being friends with Seth Green in order to mock conspiracy theorists. Like, for example, maybe this isn't a big thing planned by CIA, NSA, FBI, what have you, the deep state. It's just a big show that he's working with Seth Green and maybe Claire Grant, which is Seth Green's wife, to just make a mockumentary. Very similar to that of Joaquin Phoenix. Remember him? He also did an acting job in real life, and they made a mockumentary out of that with what's his name's brother. You know what I'm talking about. You can look it up. So he's not that serious at times, especially big hugs, and I kind of think that that's a little bit in line with the Seth Green. Maybe I'll make it a little bit different, and it kind of ties in a little bit. You know, just there's got to be some humor in it, otherwise the mockumentary isn't going to be that funny. Therefore, yeah. All right, we'll see 516. I have a feeling that it's 516. Hello. All right, you can say something when there's a pause. So 7, he's still alive. All this mentioning, why is he still alive? He's calling out so many people in high places. It's like, how could he still be alive? 8, this is for me personally. I noticed Illuminati symbolism, word mentions, even certain of his past videos, a couple of artwork pieces and things like that. He knows about conspiracy theories pretty in depth, yet he still uses that symbology, and he's big Christian. So and he's kind of into the New Age, yoga, and all this other stuff, which is in conspiracy theories very much linked to it. Not that I'm saying don't practice it. He says things like "do what you will," etc. But I don't know if he does that on purpose or if that's just the way he thinks, and or it's just ingrained. He mentions a lot of cases of conspiracy theory pedophilia, but adds nothing to support it. So a lot of this stuff is out there already, and he brings nothing new to it. Any type of information that he's gleaned, any type of evidence that could just give people more information as to the goings-ons with it. He's still in the Trump camp, even though he's supposedly Trump, which I meant Trump. Supposedly friends with pedos as well, Epstein, the Clintons, and a whole bunch of others. And if he's that deep in this esoteric knowledge of occultism and conspiracy theories, how does Cappy not know? How does Isaac Kappy not know? And Trump is still a big part of the current system. He's just He's just another figurehead, I guess. I would put it that way. And he's not doing anything really different to change it. He just wants it in his way. He wants more control. That's not ending the system. That's just supporting a different system, a different cycle. His entire process is hidden from the public. He's live streaming 1 or 2 hours a day. Maybe he's tweeting, organizing. All that really should be transparent. He should be public with it. He should get, with all the support that he's doing, just be live streaming 24/7, or at least maybe 12 hours. I've had days where I'm live streaming for 6+ hours, and it's unimportant stuff. And again, anyways, this is just my compilation. A couple of notables. He mentioned Stephen King as a pedophile, gaslighting, Fort Bragg and Stephen King connection, Jimmy Savile, CEO of BBC and New York Times, Rachel Chandler talks about trolls, Eminem, Epstein, Clintons, Tupac, SRA, Common Core, mainstream media, Franklin Cover-Up, Michael Aquino, talks about the Jews, Judaism, cults, yet he doesn't mention Zionism, MK Ultra, Bill Cooper. So he knows a lot of these things that a lot of people in the, I guess you could say, truther community or conspiracy theory community, and of course, sorry, that's other stuff. And so how does he not know about some of these things that I mentioned? I mentioned before, this guy feels to me like the man who knew too little. If you ever saw that movie, you should go see it. It's got what's his name? Bill Murray in it. Anyways, I am going to get the YouTube video interview with Lift the Veil, and we'll go and see that. I think there's going to be a couple things that I might end up stopping the video just so I could note it. And let's see, before I start it, I'm going to look in live chat just so I could see what you guys might be mentioning as well. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it is weird, Goop. No mention of Zionism. Smartphones. Hey, how's it going, Jimmer Nation? Anyway, no, you're not on hold. You can talk. You're just muted, or you just don't have your mic set up correctly.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how's it going? You and your Jimmer Nation crew. You don't think I would know about this stuff?
I wasn't trying to make fun of you, Mr. Cam. I was just trying to make fun of that guy.
Oh.
Jimmer now. I like the reaction to his craziness, and that's all I was out for, that you would react to that guy, because everything I said was what he really says.
Yeah.
And what he really does.
Yes.
But it wasn't actually directed towards you or anything that you do. I just wanted to clarify that, because I thought that maybe you were thinking I was making fun of you or your show.
No. Yeah, you can make fun of me or my show. I don't care.
No, I mean, this is pretty necessary. I have a lot of questions about this whole I know there's pedophilia. I know there's stuff that goes on in Hollywood. I know this stuff exists. And I have questions about people who pop up like this guy, who are somehow they're supposed to be revealing a truth that we all know that it's true. I mean, it's not like a secret, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know what goes on. So what's he really revealing that we don't already know? I mean, we won't know the details, but he's specifically pointing out these people. Is he gaslighting people? Is he set up? I don't really know. It's hard to navigate through all this stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's valid to talk about. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, I mean, get your point. I have the same idea. I mean, he could literally just break down everyone's investigations and make people think that conspiracy theorists are just crazy like him. right? And it could be really bad. I don't like that idea.
I mean, and he throws in stuff that's valid, like the BBC scandal and stuff that was going on over there. That's real. That's in court.
Yep.
There's nothing. You can't repudiate the facts of the matter that took place and the circumstances that this guy rose to power over decades as a kids show host, and he was a piece of crap. You know, everybody knew it.
So yeah. So what? 516 or should I call you smartphones?
Yeah, that's right. I go by on Bleach Show. That's my my handle. They'll whatever. That's what I use. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's just mentioning Jimmy Savile, and yeah, if he ends up actually accomplishing something, he'd be a hero, and yeah, his life would be more in danger. And I always wonder, would Hollywood? I mean, we want to break down, we want to take down the system and take down Hollywood. Yet we don't. What's going to happen is there's just going to be one scapegoat within Hollywood, within the system, and that's how it seems to be like it's going to play out. And what he's doing is it's not. It doesn't seem to be that way. He's trying to get more traction on it. He's trying to get people to actually come in and talk. And again, the man who knew too little, he didn't really think out the entire situation at all, and you could see it. And then he didn't think twice about maybe going back to visit Seth and Claire and take pictures or video or like just
and in my ranking of the Bill Murray movies, I rank The Man Who Knew Too Little above Garfield. You know, on his movies.
Oh boy, yeah, Garfield.
But I don't know about this Hollywood stuff. You know, it's been going on. I mean, you can go all the way back to what's his name, the La Bianca murders, or what's his name, that stupid director whose wife was murdered by Charles Manson. He did some stuff, and there was no discussion in the 70s about what he did. I mean, and then there's other incidences with people get caught. Yeah. The guy who directed the Jeepers Creepers guys. I mean, he's a convicted pedophile. Yep. And he's still allowed to make movies in Hollywood. I mean, I guess he served his time, and people are willing. This is a perfect example of the whole thing going on with James Gunn. Have you followed this, Ebon?
Yep.
On this,
he's the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, and he's been tweeting hundreds of tweets making fun of rape jokes and raping kids jokes. And he got fired.
Well, it's distasteful, but the crew, the stars of the movie, the people who he employs, they came out in support of him. Yep. And just like the people came out with that director. And the reason they do this is because, at the end of the day, have you ever interacted with actors or people who want to be actors?
Maybe one or two. That's about it.
They're kind of stupid. I'm not trying to
go ahead.
Create to tell them what to say and how to say it and do this stuff. So there's a premium put on people what's his name? Was his name Roman Polanski? Is that the guy who did it?
Yep, Roman Polanski. He's
Roman Polanski or James Gunn. These are creators. They can write a script and they can tell these people what to do and what to say. So it could be Meryl Streep. She's an actress at the end of the day. She's not doing she's not compiling code, right? She probably can't even do a basic solve a Pythagorean theorem. These aren't great thinkers. They're not writing novels. They might read a novel, but that's the extent of it. They're not creators. They need these. They're just basically they need the software to run. They're just stupid hardware, right? And the software runs the hardware, right? The coding runs the hardware, and the people who can code are a premium. A computer is just there with circuits, and they don't have the ones and zeros. It's just a freaky piece of plastic with silicon and stuff in it. And these what these people are.
Yep, they can't.
That's why So
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. Anyways, do you want to stay on while we watch the Lift the Veil interview, and we can do some break spots? So, for example,
apologize for being pretty much a jerk. The guy quit today, and I don't know. I kind of have a he seemed pretty sad, and I felt like I was just goofing on the guy, and I kind of feel a little guilty over it. And
don't worry.
And I'm sorry. Strap metal and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I like your show. I actually watch it when I'm not calling in and being a dope.
Yeah. Don't worry. We got a lot of trolls and stuff going on. I don't know how.
Like you're a guy who was in high school and you decided to start doing Q&A. I mean, quality assurance for software companies.
No, so I left high school. Oh, so I graduated from high school, went to University of Washington for a while. I dropped out, joined the United States Navy, got out, just kind of worked some odd jobs. Eventually got into Microsoft playtesting video games, and just kind of went the full software quality assurance route for 12, 14 years. You know, got just as high up as I can. I could keep going at it or do activism stuff. And just try to, I mean, I've got kids now, so I want them to actually have a good future and not go through the same system as I got. I mean, it doesn't matter how much money you keep making. The world, if it's shit, it's shit. And you're just, you know, you just have a lot of money with a whole bunch of shit in this world. So it's not that great. And I don't know. I just don't think that's just the way that the world should keep going. And the people.
I think the world is a little too more. I went to college, and I was not a great mathematician, but I was good enough to become an economist. And I know how these people do, how they work. I mean, they're evil. And you know, there's a thing. I remember doing fields of study. It's called econometrics. You know what econometrics is?
No.
It's how they try to fit a they see something going on in the world, right? And they try to make a mathematical equation out of it to say that's how it works. And then they come up with these theories. These are not scientists, but they make themselves, they think they're scientists. It's social science, but there's a lot of math involved in it. It's kind of rudimentary math at the very end of the day. But they're always trying to experiment to make sure, like, oh, well, this theory is correct, or this theory is correct. And they're people who don't regard the human factor in anything. I mean, it's just a number at the end of the day. And these are the people who they run the Fed. They run if they're running the Fed, they're running the government. You know, at the end of the day, that's what's been infected. I couldn't go any further than I got in school, and I had to quit my job because I couldn't stand these people anymore. And I joined the military in 2001. So.
What branch?
Joined the Army.
Okay. And
I didn't want to go. I went enlisted because I don't want to be around those assholes.
Yeah. But you're just told what to do by these assholes when you're in the military.
I was in a medical corps. I was in a medical corps, so I'm helping people, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So people needed help, right? And I was there helping them, so that's how I viewed it. I took orders to help people. That's the end of the day. I wasn't shooting anybody.
Yeah. But
somebody did those people. And I'm out after that. But I use those skills to make money now because you know you learn the system. But you know I don't try to grab as much as I could or I should.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be around people in this game like you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I can recall a time. I mean, I have great recollection of how it was in the 90s or the 80s. And I think maybe you're a little too pessimistic in the future. I don't have kids, but I mean, is it a little too pessimistic? I mean, I don't know.
I'm actually optimistic. I'm pessimistic at the rate that we're going, but I'm optimistic that we're going to change it. We're going to turn it all around. Because it's been... Nothing's getting better. If you talk to anybody, everyone says things are getting worse. And if you ask anyone what's getting better in this world, they can't tell you anything that's getting better. So
yeah, but I recall going to college, and you go through these courses, and one of my favorite courses to take was history, right?
Yeah.
And this is history. It's in college today when it's been. I've seen for myself how it's been. Higher education system has been watered down with too many people being allowed to go into it, and everybody having to get a college degree. And the PC culture and all that, you know, the feminist movement but when you go to studying history on the college level and you write these papers, and back when you had to go to a library, right, and pull a book from a microfiche, right?
Yep.
And you actually see the writings from the turn of the century. It's a lot of it insane, dude. I mean, I just specifically, as a person who liked history and studied it, see a correlation between how people were living at the turn of the century, around industrialization. You know, they had these people who were mega rich, like the Carnegies and the Rockefellers, and they were these super ultra rich people who picked the president from every president from after Lincoln all the way up until Teddy Roosevelt. So these people were living in a crappy kind of world too. And I think it's just a part of the human condition that you think that it's as bad as it is, and it's probably not as bad as you think it is.
Okay. That's
right. I mean, look at the world of everybody was fearing a world war in the late 1800s. They wrote about it on their popular in the newspaper and in popular, you know, writings of the day, whatever it was. And it's kind of the same thing where they were fearing war in the Middle East. They were fearing war in Europe. They were fearing war with Russia. They were fearing war with the same stuff. It was going on then. People were dying and living in factories. They had no labor movement. They had no protections of what they're doing. Kids were going to work in these factories. Kids were dying in these factories.
So
it's the same thing, I think.
So I like to ask questions and not necessarily tell you my perspective on it. I just kind of like to know where you're at and where we're at. So current events, mainstream media, do you think that they're issuing propaganda, or everything that they're saying is true, or maybe it's just partial?
Propaganda. It was outright called by. I think back then they called it yellow journalism, right? That's what they did. They were paid off to write these hit pieces. And if you go all the way back to the founding fathers, when if you had a printing press, it was a big deal. They were always printing crap about the opposition. It's something that's always been going on. I think it's been hyper realized, right, because of social media and how people have it on their phone all the time, and they're exposed to it. There's not a time when you're not. It's everybody knows it was engineered to be the way it is, you know, to affect your dopamine, to be on you all the time.
Yep.
And that's what I think it's changed. I don't think that. Then you had to pick up. First of all, you had to be illiterate, right? Right.
Yeah.
And then you had to pick up the paper and read it to understand it. But they were always doing this. It's always just been a thing of propaganda. I've read, because of my own personal reading, I've read like 100 books. Not 100 books. I'm exaggerating. Like 10 books on direct mail marketing. Because I thought it was cute. You know, I remember people used to sell stuff directly in the mail, and they give you like a pamphlet and say buy this stuff. That's been going on since, you know, the century, since people could send people out in direct mail. All it is how to manipulate people with headlines and with emotional reactions to this, that, and the other. It's the same thing that goes on today on YouTube, on Twitter.
Yep.
To me, it hasn't changed a thing, and it's just the human condition is what it is. You're either going to be nice to people or you're not. You're either going to be nice to people or you're not, and you kind of learn that with your culture. It teaches you how to do that. I mean, right? I see it.
Yep. On the second part of the question that I wanted to ask, so if all the current media, and maybe even in the past up till the printing press, is propaganda or maybe even fabrication, how do you know that the history is true? That the history that they put in the books, that the history that you're studying?
You don't know. But I can only go off of what the evidence it is. I mean, I can only go back and look at what was printed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you used to be able to do. I mean, you used to get a microfiche, and somebody put on microfiche newspaper headlines, and you already, but you're going into it thinking, you know, there's some falsehoods there, but a lot of the real historians kind of go into try to read between the lines, like looking at people, you know, letters that people wrote to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
kind of get into that, and I mean, they are letters, and people are writing about their everyday lives because people used to correspond that way. I used to letter write too. I mean, nobody does it anymore.
yeah.
I used to letter since you lived in California and I was living in Texas. And you write a letter about your life, right? It's basically like a diary. People read diaries. People write that down. So that's their first-person perspective of how they were doing it. And I got to trust that maybe when I was studying or whenever this was before maybe the education system got there, historians who were going through people's diaries and letter writing to try to verify this historic fact and get something we're doing a good job about it. I don't know. But I can't dismiss it all.
Yeah. You have to have some assumptions until you see something that might be contradictory or maybe like an anomaly of what's written during that time period.
You know, the presidency was being bought until Teddy Roosevelt, and then it was multiple party systems. I mean, there's an impeachment. It's the same thing. I mean, kind of. But you can see how that the worker, I mean, unions were brought out of the fact that somebody decided to break up these gigantic mega corporations in the turn of the century, and workers' rights took hold in the turn of the century. Unions formed. 40-hour work week was a thing. Paid time off was a thing. It evolved into the idea that there's certain assurances, and that turned into Social Security. In the when they passed, it was the 60s or the 50s whenever they passed Social Security and Medicaid and all these other things. Those ideas were birthed because of what was going on in the turn of the century, from my perspective. You know?
Yeah. So, do you think that the system of control and the system that permeated for centuries or at least decades that's just the way it's going to keep going? That there's no bigger plan that right now this is the new world order. They just prop up a lot of this info and conspiracy theory rabbit holes just to get people to prepare for something that's not going to come, so they don't do anything about the current issues now.
Well, the current issue, what are the current issues now? I mean everybody has different issues, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if I look at it a historical perspective, right? Okay. And I kind of look at it as historical perspective because that's how my brain works and that's my interest. How were people reacting to the Great Depression? Because historically speaking, the economic crash of 2008 was the second biggest economic downturn in the history of the United States, in the history of the world since then. And what historians are saying that pulled people out was the war, which is horrible anyway. But it got people to industrialize. It got the United States to get, you know, to ramp up its industrialization. Put people to work, and then you had the Marshall Plan, where the United States agreed to basically not make Europe a third world country because they had to be rebuilt. I mean, but we didn't have any of that during this economic downturn. Yeah. And we're just on the edges coming out of that, the way I see it. And people want health care, people want Social Security, but I think that the culture has kind of ruined it because people aren't having families, and what you think about capitalism or not, but it requires people to be supporting. If you're going to have any kind of welfare state, you need to have workers working to support the elderly who are going off at the end of that and collecting the benefits. If you don't have a sufficient workforce, it doesn't work anywhere. You can't just say everything's free and it's Star Trek, you know. And we're in the 24th century, and the United Federation of where there's no money and everybody can do what the heck they want. Somebody has to work, so taxes need to be collected. And if these benefits need to be paid off, but it means people want to work, and people aren't having families like they had before. Kids today aren't even thinking about getting married. It's a cultural thing. It's changed, and I don't know if it's changed that way, but it has changed. I didn't have kids. You have 3. I should have 3. I haven't contributed to it. In the day, I'm a negative for this thing, and I'm worse because I know how to efficiently extract resources from this economy for myself and only for myself.
Do you see that it's hopeless anyway? Is that why you're just might as well just?
My brother has a gangload of kids, so I don't know if it's balancing out. I mean, just from my own thing, maybe I'm balanced out. I don't know, maybe, but I doubt that 30, 40, 50 years ago there's a person like me just extracting resources, because I want to have a nice house or a nice car or a nice computer.
Yeah, I mean that is the American dream that they set up.
No, the American dream is to have a family, but I've never been into that thing. But I think I'm a victim of that. Whatever this cultural change is, I'm part of that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not blameless. Maybe I'm a little bit what's wrong with the world at the end of the day.
The thing is, everyone has a little bit of what's wrong with what's going on in the world, and I think we just need to change. If we want to change that, we have to change ourselves in some way in order to meet that goal.
Well, what am I to change? I can't do any more than what I've already done. I've already been to the Middle East. What more can I do? What more can I do? I've already been over there.
Yeah. I mean,
when I've witnessed is like it seems hopeless. And when you go historically speaking, they've been fighting for forever. So why are we involved? And why is the world so hyper focused on this specific area and how they're interacting with each other? I don't know. I mean, they bombed us in 2001, but we did other horrible stuff to them. I don't know when it stops. I mean, we can go all the way back to the Crusades if we want to, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do anything more than I've already done. And I'm kind of done with it. And I just want to have a nice house, have a nice car, I want to be able to spend money and not be poor. And I kind of feel bad for the younger guys, like the kids in their 20s today, because it kind of seems to me that the system or whoever's in charge doesn't really care for them, because what they've done with social engineering. And I think that these apps and Facebook and Google and all this stuff, the level of social engineering that I've never seen, or that people wrote about, but I've never thought it was ever possible.
Yeah. Plus, it's we put a lot for the last couple of decades. A lot of the politicians, at least in America, the United States, they've put a lot of the burdens of our debt and whatever onto the future generations. So not only do they not have jobs, security, or whatever. The last couple of decades, we expect them to pay off all our debt and our problems.
They don't have jobs because of our culture, specifically in America, and how kids have been educated, where they get away from STEM. I mean, they've talked a big game about STEM and all sorts of stuff, but they've never really done it, implemented it in the school system.
One second. So what people don't know, STEM is science, engineering, technology, and math, I think, right?
Yeah, okay. But people from China, people from India, people who come to our I know, because even when I was graduating these, advanced degrees, and I was in college in the 90s, I could see that at that point that a lot of the people in the postgraduate school studies were becoming more and more people from China, more and more people from India, less and less people from fucking Texas or California. It's because they were not interested in doing that stuff. There's that. I know a person right now who is a civil engineer, and he's 70 years old. And he's a civil engineer because there's nobody to do his job for him.
Mm-hmm.
They need it employed, and that's a large part. These kids they don't see that that's a need. I don't know if they're capable of even doing it. You know?
Or they just want to just either live off the system what they can have, or just go into a system of what they want to do, regardless if it makes money or not. Like playing music, acting.
Yes, I mean it's kind of a pipe dream, isn't it? I mean, I was told stuff like that as a kid. I remember specifically, like, I was in the 80s and I was really into comic books, like in most kids, and I was pretty good at drawing, and I was getting awards for drawing and stuff like that. And I was also really good at math and certain sciences. And I go there and I tell my dad, he goes, "What are you?" You know, I'm like 12. My dad asked me, why are you always drawing stuff? Because I go, I want to be a comic book artist. He looked at me and said, "No, that's a pipe dream. You need to go become go to college and get a degree in this, that, and the other." Yeah. And at the end of the day, I don't think my generation of parenting even goes to that. But that's all I remember hearing from anybody and everybody's parents when I was growing up, was that, yeah, great, that's pie in the sky kind of idea. And when you think about it, when I had that pie in the sky idea, it's like, there's two companies making comic books, Marvel and fucking DC. How many jobs are available? I was ever gonna become a comic book writer or a comic book artist? But I mean, it was really true what he was telling me. Yeah. I mean, it really was. But I don't think people who are parenting today would want to give those harsh truths. And know who does do that? People who are in China, people who are in India, people who are in Africa, people who are who they have and our kids don't see those hard truths. Their parents don't even tell them that. They're protecting them, and so we are stuck with having to import, with through visas, people to do engineering, to do STEM work. I think ideally, if everything worked the way it's supposed to work, or could have worked, we would be the country where our American citizens would be doing all this coding, all this stuff. But it's not. The education system has allowed that to happen to our kids. I don't know why. I haven't been in school forever. But I don't see anybody doing it, and I didn't see anybody then. Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, what do you're in the IT thing. Who do you see working in your field doing those jobs?
A lot of long-haired people who wear shirts and shorts and not your typical button-ups. A lot of.
Where are they from? I mean, are they from the United States? Are they from?
Well, the good ones are pretty much, they're. Let's see. So for my history, I mean, it's all around. A lot of the people that a lot of the corporations try to get, especially the startups and smaller companies, are the people from either India or actually even Turkey. And the ones, as far as like the Americans, it's usually kind of split between just your average white American and some Asian ethnicity in the tech field. There doesn't seem to be many like black people or like women. It's very, very a minority in the tech field. These are just companies. This is anecdotal. This is just tech companies that I've worked for. So, and these are just tech jobs, not necessarily like project managers and things like that. This is just the IT people, the programmers, the not designers, just people who work with the backend databases or on quality assurance, programming, and networking.
Considered boring jobs by their kids, right? Especially if you're a black kid or a Hispanic kid. Were they being taught that this is not a job that? Are they being told that they're not capable of it? I don't think so. I think their culture tells them that these are boring jobs or not cool jobs or something Because
Sure.
there's changes about math, right? It's the same now as it was 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe even longer.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, well, I'm using 100 years ago
Okay.
as an arbitrary number, but why is it more difficult for a kid growing up in inner city LA or Chicago? If the book is there and they're being taught the material, why don't they pick it up? It's not a biological thing. It has to be a cultural thing where they're not being told that this is something of value to learn.
True. It is, and plus a lot of it's also media, the media attention. I mean, no one says, "Hey, I'm gonna be a quality assurance engineer," or "I'm gonna be a database developer." Those are the things that those are like the heavy lifting, bulk of the work that doesn't get any notoriety. They, what gets notoriety are the people who create the apps, and then they make millions out of the apps that they create. That's what the society sees because of the media attention for it. And it is true every once in a while you do get these apps or games or whatever programs.
If we can't even get kids in the industry, and this is since the 60s, when for all intents and purposes, discrimination was kind of eliminated by law, if where you can go to school, where you can get a job, and where you can live, and if you can vote. And by if you can't even get these kids to improve, and they're actually worse, and many people say, and there's provable, they're worse off now than they were in the 1950s and 60s. If just these kids to get the job, how are we ever going to get this Hollywood pedophilia thing solved, or this whatever this child? I mean, hundreds of thousands of kids go missing every year in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Every second. And they throw a fact out there that 20% are by family members. But this is something that goes on every day, and it's been getting progressively worse and worse and worse.
Yep.
So they're being fed to something. The media isn't covering it, and when somebody like Isaac Kappy even speaks about it, I have questions about whether or not he's just part of the machine. I mean, he's a ridiculous figure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to bring back to this real subject.
Yeah, and it's difficult because, like, we want to trust them, but of course there's always reservations because when you trust someone, we realize, hey, they end up screwing us over because we gave them our trust. But then we just have to look for indicators whether this person is trustworthy or not. And some of the indicators that I like seeing is be transparent. Work within the public. Everything should be just almost live streaming 24/7 what he's doing as far as getting people communicating and talking to his back team who's gonna like vet people and who's his back team, and he doesn't reveal so and stuff like he doesn't want any money, he doesn't want any donations, but that information is already out there. How much donations did he get already at the onset? And just reveal that and say, hey, I ended up getting like $1,400 out of donations before I said stop giving me donations. But then what did he do with that money? Did he keep it? Did he refund people? Because you can refund people, but he doesn't show it. So there's just it's
like, I know that's donating money to him. I mean, it's a cause. I mean, but I look at the guy. He's an actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or was an actor. Or I don't know what his deal was. He has IMDb credits.
Yeah.
They're going 10 plus years, and all of a sudden now, he's motivated to fight for this cause. But there's there's one born every minute. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen him. I never thought that people would be able to, this donation culture, like going to GoFundMe's and Patreons or just people streaming on Twitch getting donations for them playing video games. You know, I mean, people get paid. People are getting paid millions for that. Is he an opportunist? He's just looking to make a buck, possibly. But if it donates to him and he's not, and they're willing to do that without the assurance of there being transparency, like you say, about what he's doing with the money, then, you know, a fool and his money is soon, you know, parted. I mean, I really have no control over that.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just have to see the aftermath of this. I mean, why isn't he working with Corey Feldman? Isn't he one of these guys out there over the past year who was advocating about this whole pedophilia? Why don't these people collaborate? How come they're always separate? Or they have a beef where they can't do it with somebody, or they can't do it together. It just seems like they would all like want to make a collective, a group of people, they should all form a charity or something, or a group, or to advocate for this.
Yep, a coalition or an organization, whatever. Just compile everything that you have against them. Vet everyone within that group. Vets each other. That way they know that, yeah, it's very similar experiences as mine. It's what I went through. These are the people. Find other people out there, and you can do some real damage. I mean, because then you can go ahead and do a big what is that when you do a lawsuit with a whole bunch of people rather than just one person?
Class action lawsuit.
Class action lawsuit. Yep. And class action lawsuit against, I don't know if you can do it against Hollywood, but you can do it against government if it's government people as well. I mean, that's
in the case of Great Britain, you know, it was government people. That guy couldn't have operated as long as he did. And BBC is a government organization. It's paid by the funds of the taxpayer in Britain, right?
Yeah.
They have different laws. They're kind of similar. They're built on it, but what's come of that? That's years ago that this was proven.
Yeah.
It's years ago. So, I mean, it's kind of, that to me is depressing that goes on, you know?
But for me, so with Isaac Kappy, we don't know what's going to happen yet. We don't know the end result. He did state 2 weeks. He's gonna that it should be done 2 weeks if everything happens. So I'm willing to give 2 weeks to him to see where this goes. And 2 weeks, it's just the same thing, and it's just, you know, more live streams and more interviews, yet nothing actually happening. Then kind of have to just wait until something does happen. But I'm aware of the fact that you know, you go the conspiracy people, you know, it's an industry. It has to be some part entertainment, because you can't tell me the people who are following QAnon, that bullshit, for the last 18 months, they can't all realize that they've been fucked with. I mean, they have to at some level know they're being fucked with, right? But they keep doing it. They keep going back to it, don't they? Yeah.
I mean, how many times has it been exposed as it being bullshit? But people, there's still a group of people. It's like I have a friend of mine. I mean, you ever gone to a friend's house and you know, you would go, hey, they have Netflix, and you go look at Netflix, and it has their recommends come up because this is what they watch. Right? It's like it's an algorithm. I go to my friend's house, and he, you know, I didn't know about this about him. I go, let's go look at Netflix. It's something we're gonna watch, and then all this stuff comes up about ancient aliens and fucking swamp, all these fucking bullshit shows, you know, that are conspiracy. It's entertainment to these people. Like Hitler. It's so there's got to be an aspect of that too, that these people are just, I don't know, they're retarded or what, but people like the idea of a conspiracy, don't they?
Yeah, but they don't want that conspiracy to be true. If it's proven, it's no longer conspiracy, right? It's fact. But it's hard because the powers that be, they fictionalized a lot of things that probably are true, and lie about all the things that they actually sprout as being true. So it's like they made everything upside down. And if we're to think or believe that these people are Luciferians or Illuminati, whatever, they like to inverse, just make the opposite of whatever it is, and take it for their own. And it just makes it hard for anyone to just go off of whatever type of ideology, because they'll just take control of it and then invert it. And then it just, people who still follow it, they don't know. I mean, you can see this with everything, with the swastika.
People don't know. People know, and they're there for the dopamine hit or whatever it is that they find entertaining about thinking about this stuff. I mean, you can go down these rabbit holes on almost any topic on YouTube. Maybe not for much longer, because that seems to be closed up on YouTube right there. Mm-hmm. They're closing down YouTube, and it's being changed to corporate. It's being turned into NBC, ABC, CBS. It's just going to be one giant thing. It's going to be Google or Alphabet, where the heck it is. Yeah. And they're closing down all the independent thinking on this platform, right? I mean, it's what I've observed. And but people are entertained by it. I mean, and I think a lot of this, I think if you prove the fact that Kennedy was assassinated by whomever,
James Greer,
but whomever, it's no longer a conspiracy. But look what's going on. It's an industry. It was a cottage industry for years. I mean, a person made Academy Award-winning or nominated movies about it. And that guy's been dead longer than I've ever been alive. You know,
mm-hmm.
How can I even prove it? Like you're talking about historical fact. How can I even prove that it even happened? There's people who go out there in neurosciences who are debating whether or not we're living in they're actually debating whether we're living in a simulation. Can I prove that Kennedy was assassinated in 1963? I mean, most of the people who witnessed it are dead.
Mm-hmm.
It was on the news. Did he even exist?
Yeah. And whether the government keeps that information and unredacted, and if they'll ever release it in its entirety, so the full truth is known. I mean, I like to ask questions where it makes people think, and not necessarily I have to give them the answer. For example, what do you think is man's greatest accomplishment is? So is it maybe one of them was going to the moon? I mean, landing on a celestial body outside Earth for the first time? That's got to be a huge accomplishment, right? Especially now that we look at how we can get past our atmosphere, how we could get through the Van Allen belt, how we could land exactly on a lunar body and then leave and get back onto Earth, past the radiation belt and back into Earth's surface, going through using a heat shield, because you're going at speed so fast with the gravitational friction that things get super hot. And so so that would be probably one of man's greatest feats, and that was technology like half a century ago. So with that in mind, why aren't we there again? And why? And NASA tells us all the information and all the video footage that was original was destroyed. So why, if we want to go back in space, go back to the moon, go to Mars, why do we still have these people in charge when they might make the same mistake and get rid of destroy all the footage, destroy all the telemetry data, all the data and information how to get back? Why would we want them to still be in charge of the space programs? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to you. And people don't ever want to go that far to, think that it could have been a big conspiracy that they faked the landing. We won't really know. We don't have enough information. We just have assumptions. But even
I think it's kind of ironic. I think it's kind of ironic that they're coming out with the First Man movie, right? Have you followed these things?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
See it as there's first of all, nobody was asking for the movie.
Yeah.
I mean the guy, he was alive forever and he just died recently. Now they're making his biopic. You would think that they would have made his biopic. I mean, they made what do you call it? What was that movie in 1980? The Right Stuff. And
Yep.
all those people were still alive. And now they never made a biopic about any of the moon landings. The one movie they made about a moon landing, it was endorsed by Hollywood, was the one moon landing that didn't work, right? Apollo 13. Right? That was the one that didn't work, but they never really made a big budget. So this comes out when people are talking about flat Earth and they're making questions. I think that's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I have a family issue that came up, so I'm gonna have to leave stream. Thanks for coming on, Mattress King. I don't know what to call you anymore. And for everyone else, I'll go ahead and go through the Lift the Veil and maybe other live streams another day, and we can talk about it. But thanks for coming on. It's a good talk. This is one of these talks that I like to go down into and just see someone else's perspective. They're puzzled to the piece of if we can actually interconnect and actually change something, change the system, or just break it. All right, thanks guys.
Thanks. Well, good night, Ebon.
Good night.